Oh, well, now this looks interesting. Okay. And, okay, good. We managed to beat the speed race. So if those units were just a little bit faster, I would have immediately been done. Thankfully, I'm fast enough, and I've got my immortality off. They can hit anyone else but Sinji. They're all single target units, pretty much. This should be perfect. So, what's the strategy, guys? So, we've already gotten turn 1 on Sinji. We have the immortality. We have Muse Rima there, which a lot of people don't really utilize. But hey, she refreshes cooldowns. So now, Sinji has S3 again. Shazam. Now, all I gotta do is take this one risk with the S3 right here. I'm probably going to miss Adin. No big deal. Even if it misses, it's not the end of the world. We did this basically for the counterattack and for the attack buff. Even if the counterattack was stripped, we're fine. I have Bastion of Hope. You are not stripping me. If you are stripping me, you have an ungodly amount of effectiveness. So right now, everything is in perfect shape. See, right there, we have the S3 again, so we can use that on our next turn, and we're good to go. So, like, nothing can actually go wrong at this point. Just nothing. Everything is perfectly fine. So, everything's set up perfectly. This is going to do, like, a little bit of damage, because, like, all the Celines that I fight today, they all had Dust Devil, and the Dust Devils went off like crazy. Thankfully, this one right here didn't crit. But, yeah, we're in great shape. The only thing that could go wrong... Oh, what's that? I've been chosen for the fight... Wait, what? Okay. So, basically now the title of the video makes a little bit of sense now, doesn't it? So... yeah, I completely threw right then and there. I was distracted for a hot second. And in that hot second, I did not realize that my immortality on Sinji was at 1 turn, and I threw by attacking with her. I'm such a fucking idiot. But okay. So yeah, we threw on round 1. But honestly, if you were to utilize a strategy like that, it actually would work. And it would be great. Just, you have to make sure you are paying attention at all times. Do not be distracted by any one little thing, and you'll be good as gold. So hey, round 2. This is Conqueror, Lilias, Senya, and Choux again. And the only thing that you really even have to worry about here, because honestly, this is a big tower, and this big tower, this Choux is actually kind of strong. So I think I had some information on that from earlier. Like, I think somebody in our Discord was complaining about a Choux being strong, so I usually never check any of that information. I really don't care. I kind of scout. My time frames are usually so bad, I can never really give information. But either way, hey, but that's beside the point. So we're going to go into this trying to kill Choux as quickly as humanly possible. But unfortunately, you have, like, the one issue that arises with using my team of Shadow Knight, Pyllis, Roana, and Arunka is I can't effectively cleanse. And because of that, now I can't really go into Choux effectively, and also because of just how Conqueror Lilias functions. She goes in, she, like, nerfs Arunka on her turn 1, usually, so she has attack down, and you just can't deal effective damage to the Choux. So yeah, right there, that was 7k. That's kind of impressive. So I'm starting to sweat just a little bit, so if that Choux got any luck at all to, like, get a couple of those pulls from the dual attacks from Conqueror Lilias, I probably would have been fucked. But thankfully, that doesn't happen, and we're able to just kind of keep going into the Senya. So the Senya is going to die fairly soon, and I think I tried to strip the attack buff. I managed to get it right there. So now, like, the Senya is really not an issue at all. As soon as she goes down, then I can start working on Choux, and then we're good to go. So, if you wanted to utilize a team like this, if you wanted to use Alencia, you absolutely can. The biggest issue that arises with Alencia is just you're going to be, like, provoke locked even worse than you are with Arunka, because your damage will be nerfed. You'll have Mist debuff. You're going to be probably dealing with crit resist, so you do even less damage. It's actually more frustrating, and it kind of makes you angrier whenever you use Alencia. So if you're going to use Alencia, you have to not use Shadow Knight Pyllis. In this case, you would probably use, like, Mediator Kawerik or something like that, because then he's still targeted by the Conqueror Lilias, and if you're very confident in your abilities as a Mediator Kawerik, like you have a lot of tank ability, you can absolutely do the same kind of team comp right here, and it should work out fairly well, because you're going to be having your Arunka having attack buff more often than she usually does, and then you can just kind of, burn your souls more effectively, because you'll have attack buff to utilize the Uber's Tooth that's on Arunka. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not even following what I'm talking about. Because you'll have Valencia, you'll be able to S3 strip. But either way, hey, match is over. We don't have to worry about that no more. Round 1 didn't happen. I wasn't retarded. So, okay, I managed to find the exact same team, and I still wanted to try and do something different to fight this, because in all honesty, it's a pretty simple team because they're all going to go into Dark. So what I decided to do is I'm going to utilize Dark Corvus, and I'm going to immediately go for an S3 because I had Iseria there. So Iseria refreshes Dark Corvus's S3, so he's able to just straight up use it and let it rip. Thankfully, we don't miss, and we do just enough damage to kill the Savior Adin on turn 1. So hey, that's pretty good. And all we have to do now is just wait until Dark Corvus's turn comes up again, and then we can just straight up delete the Arowell. Now, to those of you who are probably paying attention, you've probably already realized what the issue is. The issue is, Spirit Eye Celine has really, really good luck. Oh, by the way, I wasn't even thinking for a moment that this was going to work, because I saw Bastion, but wow, I had just enough effectiveness that it was no big deal. I just went on ahead and stripped it. But like I was talking about before, here's Spirit Eye Celine. Oh, hey, look, Dust Devil. By the way, I'm going to spoil you now. Dust Devil procs 3 fucking times. And it's painful every time it procs. So, the important thing is, I think I shouldn't have brought Doris. Like, the biggest issue is we don't have, like, a reason to bring Doris into this. I brought Doris because I think I saw somebody else on my guild use Doris as well. They were using this with, like, a Karina setup. Like, it was basically this exact same setup, except instead of using Iseria, they brought Karina, just for the rocket punch shenanigans that she does to Spirit Eye Celine. Which, hey, that's a very good idea. I should have thought of that. I should have built her, because I still don't have Karina built. But whatever. I'll get around to it eventually one of these days, whenever I figure out what the hell time is. But yeah, basically all those Dust Devils are what caused me to lose. At least lose Dark Corvus. So now I just have to figure out, okay, if there is some way that I can just bide my time, because the other 2 units are extinct. They're not coming back. So all I have to deal with is just Spirit Eye Celine. So the goal at this point is to, and honestly, looking back at this footage, I do some really, really stupid shit. I don't know what I was even thinking for some of these. I was probably just panicking. But basically, the goal is, now I have to hit into Celine and just hope I get lucky that I don't get crits. And I have to make sure that she stays on Doris. Because Iseria can't take a hit. She just can't. She can probably take one of those hits, but she can't take, like, multiples. And also, straight up, what is this RNG? Why is the Spirit Eye Celine getting so many of her enhanced S1s? Why don't I ever get those? I always get the pathetic, like, I'm gonna smack you with my scabbard. But, whatever. So, the goal is, we just gotta keep it going on to Doris. And hopefully the Dust Devil won't proc too many times and just utterly annihilate us. Because then we also have Prosthetic Candlestick. So right here I look, and I was like, okay, so what are your cooldowns at? So she's good. Now here is a mistake. I should have just S2'd. In fact, I could have burned S2'd. It would have been a much better decision than to S3. So what I did there was I just created a 50-50, and then also I crit. So now, guess who's the target? It's going to be Iseria. Thankfully, I didn't get a enhanced S1, and then one other thing I could have easily done is I could have S2'd into Doris. I was probably in full-blown panic mode right now, just trying to think of how I could possibly survive this. So, I get another crit, But thankfully, she doesn't have her ability up right now. She ends up getting a Dust Devil, but it wasn't the enhanced Dust Devil. Does just enough right there, and I'm able to turn cycle just fast enough, so I go on ahead and get to the S1, and I kill her right here. Oh. Oh. And then, hey, looky-loo. It's another Conqueror, Lilias, Senya, and a Choux. Isn't this team fun? Oh, hey, looky there. Arunka got 15%, so that means we can go into the Choux with full power. Now, you see what I was saying about whenever it comes to giving Arunka a buff of some kind? If she just, like, cleansed one S3, like, one buff on S3, it would completely make this entire team a joke. Because then you would have full power to go into the Choux, and she's quite literally dead on, like, turn 3 or so. Like, look at all the damage that she's taken. And I'm pretty positive that's a tanky Choux, because if she was a HP bloat Choux, she probably would have had, like, what, 24k HP instead of 21? But hey, either way, everything works out. And now we just go into our S3 for Roana, get ourselves a little bit of healing going, and the Choux is about to die. And as I've said in numerous videos fighting the same comp, I hope that you guys are more comfortable fighting it, but like as soon as Choux goes down, and you can utilize pretty much any kind of comp that you really want. Like if you want to use something like Lone Crescent Bellona, you absolutely can here. The biggest thing that you have to remember is you're going into Senya, and Senya will low-key counter a Lone Crescent Bellona. She absolutely will. Unless you're rocking some form of cleanse, you have really high ER or anything along those lines. Because also Conqueror Lilias will go into your Lone Crescent Bellona. So if you ever want to do Lone Crescent Bellona, you have to either make sure she's really thick, has like lots of ER, or you have some kind of pocket cleanse unit that's on your team. Now, if you have any of those options, you can absolutely use Lone Crescent Bellona into this, and you will utterly farm it. Especially if you have like an injury Lone Crescent Bellona, then you can just go into Choux a couple of times, and Shazam, Choux's crippled. But yeah, those are like the big things that you have to remember about this team. I'm still not a very big fan of this team at all, mainly because, like, if I really wanted to, I could just auto it. I have more auto potential fighting Lua than I do Conqueror Lilias, because Conqueror Lilias can bring either Choux or she can bring Senya, and then if she brings Choux and Choux Choux has an opportunity to use her S2. It's a whole thing. So you kind of have to pay attention just a little bit whenever you fight Conqueror Lilias in your Choux as opposed to Lua in your Choux, but hey, whatever. So, speaking of Lone Crescent Bellona, so we got Conqueror Lilias, we got Belian, and who was the last one? Apocalypse Ravi. Okay, cool. You guys are HP scalers. I hate your kind, and I hope you die. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Lone Crescent Bellona, and my Lone Crescent Bellona, as I think a lot of you have seen, is running a injury set. I really, really, really do like injury set. I think injury set's a lot of fun. But I do still think Belian is probably still the queen of injury set. But on defense, Belian injury set, it's not really the greatest. And the reason why it's not the greatest is because on defense, they always go into their S3. There's no opportunity for an S1, S2 follow-up, or an S1, S1 follow-up, whatever the hell you want to call it. But hey, we have attack buff here from Mediator Kawerik, and she also didn't have def buff up. Bam, she's dead. So now we don't have to worry about Belian anymore. So now the widespread injury is no longer an issue. So all we have to worry about now is just Apocalypse Ravi. Apocalypse Ravi will only go into Doris, and she's free reign for Lone Crescent Bellona to just hit. And every hit that I do into her, the more like astronomically damaging it's going to be, because as anyone who has run injury or fights any kind of HP scalers knows, as soon as you start like even a little bit of injury, they lose massive amounts of damage. It's probably the hardest hitting on Choux and Apocalypse Ravi in particular, especially because Apocalypse Ravi is like designed in that way where she's like the anchor of the team. So you can honestly leave her for last if you have her injured, because then she's not going to revive anybody. Her chances of actually killing whenever she's injured are so astronomically low, you have almost nothing to worry about. Like right here, I've already won the match. It's just a matter of like, it's a matter of, hey, what do you want to do? So I'm just kind of biding my time, and I'm only using Lone Crescent Bellona to go into Apocalypse Ravi. Apocalypse Ravi is only going to hit Doris. Doris is just a straight up Omega Wall, not going to be touched, not going to go down, period. And I'm just kind of counting down the turns that Conqueror Lilias goes, and then I'll just buff with Mediator Kawerik as necessary, and then I'll just hit into Apocalypse Ravi. Like right here, you're going to see her go into an S3. She has attack down and blind, and she's injured. Holy fucking shit. That did 1,572 damage. So, yeah, injury is absolutely incredible. I still cannot believe, to this day, there is no counter to injury. Like, none. There's no means of healing it. There's no nothing. The only answer to injury is pretty much cleave. Like, hey, can you just kill it fast enough so that it doesn't injure you? That's it. There's no other answer to injury. Well, technically there's barrier, but, like, I wouldn't really consider that an answer.
I am the rightful ruler of
Okay, Zio, huh?
kneel before me.
And he hit Arunka, because Arunka was the fastest unit. So, we're going to use S3, go into Zio, see if we can get him provoked. And then he'll only go into Pyllis, which has two really interesting effects if you're paying attention. One, anytime a unit is provoked and they hit into Pyllis, it actually boosts her up on the CR bar. So, you can compound this with Roana's S2 ability whenever a follow-up attack kind of occurs. That also moves them up on the CR bar. So, as soon as you see Zio's turn, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about here. You'll see Shadow Knight Pyllis just super jump. So, here comes Zio's turn, and he's going to go, and once again, counter set doing work. So, there's that jump, and then here's going to be another jump. Huge. Super helpful, because both of those hits were him being provoked. So, as long as he doesn't resist any of the provokes, I really have no issues with who Zio's going to hit, and then also the other two green units are pretty healthy right now. And also Senya is straight up about to die. So that's kind of like the weakness of this team, is it is very squishy on some of these areas. Like, yeah, Choux is only squishy in the sense that she doesn't have a lot of defense. Senya is squishy because she needs way too many stats into her offensive capabilities. So, and then there's Zio, who is only squishy in his raw stats, but Deify is the thing that makes him tanky. So if you have any means of bypassing it, like, say, with additional damage, which I have with both Arunka's Uber's Tooth, or with Rocket Punch from Pyllis, yeah, no issues. So hey, it's only been 15 turns, and we're already down to just Choux. So, hey Choux, what are you gonna do? You can even try, and you could possibly kill Pyllis, but even still, you have to go through Arunka, and you ain't killing that. It's just not happening. And with that being said, that's it, folks. That's the end of the Guild War. So yeah, this was a perfectly flawless Guild War. Absolutely nothing bad happened of any kind. The first 2 minutes didn't happen in the video. In fact, here's the Men in Black flash. Didn't happen. But either way, I do really greatly appreciate the news that I received today from the Smilegate folks. I'm glad that they enjoyed my audition for the Orbis Caster Clash. I completely forgot that it was actually kind of like a competition. So yeah, me and 5 other people are apparently going to be competing for like a top spot on like doing the caster stuff. So hey, I wish everybody else luck in the competition. I hope to just have a whole lot of fun. And to any of y'all, if you're ever interested and you wanted to see my audition, I do actually have it up on my channel. If you just look back like maybe a week or 2 weeks, you'll see it. It's in there in the videos. But yeah, if you wanted to see whatever my audition was, I have it there. Hey, feel free to watch it. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you thought it was funny. Tell me whatever you think. I don't care. Give me whatever criticism you got. I'd love to hear it. I like to improve. But hey, that's everything. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more of my content, please hit subscribe. I hope to see y'all again soon. Later.